Colorful is a Chinese brand, so it's not that popular in the US market as you may have noticed. But more importantly, how does it perform? And does it offer quality compared to the everyday brands we usually hear of like Gigabyte, Asus, MSI, and so on? If you are keen to know, then check this video including my personal view. Let's see if Colorful is another Chinese brand you can put your money on. So, let's get started. Basic specs. First, let's go over some of the basic specs and aesthetics. The GTX 1050 Ti came out a while ago, so I'm not going to go too far into depth about its specifications. The card's aesthetics fall into the black and red theme, but it's not overdone and doesn't look too aggressive. There's a matte finish on the plastic shroud showing a stealthy color profile. There are two 910 fans with 9 blades in total. The entire card takes up 2 expansion slots. There's one display port, one HDMI, and one DVI port for output. On the back, you'll also notice a button. And yes, this button is as cool as it looks. Basically, it loads a turbo profile to boost memory and clock speed. Nothing too crazy, but enough to give you a little boost. Test bench. For the test bench, I pretty much gave it the best chance of performing at its maximum. I got an 8600K clocked at 5 GHz and 16 GB of RAM clocked at 3200 MHz. Comparison and benchmark profile. For all of the benchmarks, the Colorful GTX 1050 Ti had the turbo profile enabled. I really like the fact that for consumers not comfortable with overclocking or any sort of boost performance, you can easily press a physical button and not have to worry about insane power draws or overheating. In order to enable the different modes, the PC must be restarted in order for the changes to take effect. Overclock profile. In the benchmarks, we'll be going over high settings, ultra settings, and ultra settings again, but with a manual overclock to around 1911 MHz. Basic VRM analysis and explanation. VRM means voltage regulator module, which basically controls the power going to the GPU. Cards with good components on the VRM will tend to have better and more stable overclocking along with a longer lifespan. For a GTX 1050 Ti, you don't need a beefy VRM to overclock it. Here, we have a 3-phase VRM. Phases are made of several components, but essentially, the more phases you have on a VRM, the better overclocking you will have. Phases basically filter the power going to the GPU. The more filtration, the cleaner and better the power delivery will be. Basic cooler analysis. The heatsink is adequate for this cooler as proven by the thermal testing results. The 1050 Ti isn't a hot card to begin with, but this cooler does the job and does it quietly with the dual 910 fans on the shroud. We hope you found our in-depth review helpful and informative. Comment below if you have any questions about this review or explanation. Thanks for watching.